At what point did you decide, all right, I can take this better wallet thing seriously and leave my more seriously and leave my job? I know that's a big jump for a lot of people.
I never even fathomed being where I'm at today. Because in my head, I was like, okay, well, I'll just do this on the side. Like, I'm making a little bit of money. Like, I'm having fun. And it was a combination of a couple different things. So for me, it was not only the regulation that I had to deal with in corporate finance, because I had to disclose a lot of things after some time. And at a certain point, I'm like, yo, I'm not disclosing shit anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So it was a combination of that. The income was good enough. And I felt that I was cheating on the company that I loved, meaning that the corporation that I work for, SCI, I still love the company. I love the people I work with. I'm still really close with like the hire manager there, and they took a chance on me, but like they promoted me enough times at the firm where I know they truly believed in what I could bring to the table. So at a certain point, I felt like I was dedicating 95% of my time to BetterWallet, and I was devoting maybe 5% to the actual company. And I didn't feel like that was right, because there was also a lot of kids behind me that I knew could do a better job than me, because I was devoting all my time to
your business, your personal business. Yeah.
Right. So that was a major factor. The regulation was a major factor. And then I felt my whole motto was, I'm going to build a company, and it could either be a side hustle or it could be something I could do in the future. But I want to have two separate companies, one that I work for and then one that I happen to own. Over a certain amount of time, I told myself, okay, well, I don't really need my 9 to 5 anymore, and I could eventually make that jump. And I didn't really take it seriously until I made that trip to Dallas and talked to you guys. And I remember it so vividly. We're walking, we're drinking. I don't even know what we're drinking. We're drinking something strong.
Did like 3 stops that day.
Yeah. So I remember walking up the stairs with Ant, and he was like, bro, like, are you thinking about like quitting your job? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see. He was like, yeah, like I'm thinking about it. Maybe like end of the year. I don't know. Like, I have to make sure things are in order and like, da, da, da. I'm like, all right. And I didn't really think about it until that point. And then after I left Dallas, I ended up talking to one of my buddies who quit his engineering job in Colorado. And he was like, bro, just make the jump. And we started looking at numbers. He's like, bro, like, you're making enough, like make the jump. You have an emergency fund? Yeah. He's like, dude, do it. So then afterwards, I still wasn't sold. And then I went to FinCon and I started talking to some of my friends that were really killing it. And they're like, bro, you're good. Do it. And they held me like my feet to the fire. And they were like, so when you get back home, you're going to start transitioning your work to someone else. And then you're going to quit. I'm like, okay. I guess I'm doing it. And it was tough, man, because like I truly love my job. I worked really hard to get to where I was at. I love working with my clients, albeit I was still helping these millionaires become multimillionaires. But I love what I did. And then also the other part was I was mentoring a lot of the other Black kids that were trying to be in my shoes, that were on the desk, that wanted to become an executive. And I felt like if I left, I was doing a disservice to them.
Leaving them behind.
Right. And, but then I realized that in order to truly show them how to do this thing, you have to have something of your own. And when I realized that, and I realized that what I'm taking on is much bigger than this 9 to 5 executive role, that's when I decided, hey, like I can go and I can take that jump. And then I called my boss. And he was like, and he knew from the gate, because he knew that I didn't just call him like early in the morning
to
like,
say hello.
Good morning. Yeah, he was like, super Italian. He's like, bro, what's going on? Yeah, talk to me. And I was like, they have to find someone to come get you. You all right? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. I'm quitting.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks. And he was disappointed, and he was choosing his words very wisely, and I applaud him for that. But he was like, yeah, I'm disappointed, but like you're taking on an opportunity that I wish I took on when I was younger. He was like, he was 62 at the time. He was like, I'm 62 And I wish when I was your age, I would have taken on the opportunity to, do something bigger than myself. Now I'm at a point where I wish I could retire. I don't have enough money to retire. And I probably would have more money if I took that jump. He was like, a lot of my peers, he graduated from Wharton. He was like, a lot of my peers, they are off, kind of hanging out, Florida, and the Keys, whatever.
Yeah. And
not having to worry about a 9-to-5 or making sure that I met a certain like statistic or what have you. And he was like, dude, go for it. And that really truly gave me the motivation to take the jump. And in my head, I'm like, okay, like I'll give it a month. I'm going to want to come back. And it's been, more than a year. And I'm like, I'd never even thought about going back. Not even once.
Not even once.
Congratulations, man. Because I just hit a year. Right after you.
Yeah.
I just hit a year. And it's funny how much more my CEO had a very similar conversation with me and my direct manager. My CEO said, if I didn't take the leap, there would be nobody at this company. He's like, and my manager said he's like, I'm already tied. He's like, I'm stuck here. The handcuffs, I got the family, got the lifestyle, and I can't leave. But he was like, if I would have had the opportunity to do what you're doing at your age right now, he's like, I definitely would have took that job.
Yeah.
And it's funny how much clarity they give you when you
after, of course.
Yeah, afterwards.
I'm not going to tell you why you're here. I need you to be here.
My CEO said you got so much more potential than being at this job. And he's like, I can see that for you. You're going to go far. So kudos to you, man. That's a year in.
Yeah. And I mean, truly, it came from, if I wasn't debt free, I don't think I would have made that jump. And,
right.
I have to give you guys your flowers because even when I was paying off my debt, I remember again, like I don't forget this stuff. And I remember when I was paying off my debt, I was like close to it. It was like January, February of 2020. And I'm like, all right, like I have to wait until the end of the year because I don't really have that much income coming in order to pay off my debt. And we were like, I was helping you guys like market the brand and everything. And I would never forget you guys were like, yo, like you're in the budget. Like those like specific words. You're in.
Oh, that's how you would DM very timidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the price, or this is what it is.
You're like, bro, you're in the budget. You're good. And I told you like what I was going after. I'm paying off my debt.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're good. Got you. Even like I feel like there was times where you didn't even want to market, but you're like, yo, like we got you. And like I appreciated that. So I want to give you guys your flowers while we're talking about it.
Yeah, we promote on his
that,
page. Yeah.
That helped me. That really did. And I was able to expedite the journey. And then from there,
Your price is your price, and I think his price is a lot higher now. I was like, I don't know if you're in the budget right now.
Yeah. No,
shout outs to you, man.
Yeah. After time, I cut that out. I completely changed the business model where I got to the point where I just didn't want to continue to market on the page. Because you guys are great.
It's more about you now.
Yeah, like you guys are great to help market and get the brand even higher than what it is right now. But there's a lot of people out there that just didn't. They wanted to market.
But it didn't match what you wanted to do.
I'm trying to word
it. I know.
They just didn't have all their ducks in order.
Okay.
Yeah.
People come back to you and it's like, oh, you put this person out there and I got you, man.
Yeah, that's also the risk too, right?
No, it's
like,
a risk.
There's no risk with you guys, but like there are other people who are like, oh, like group life insurance or not group, whole life insurance, like trying to sell it to someone who doesn't have any kids and there's no reason.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, I'll give you $1,000 to post on your page. And I'm like, I can't.
You want it to be aligned.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to make sure everything was aligned to the BetterWallet mission. So after some time, I completely cut it off and changed my entire revenue, the way I brought in money. And then, I've been kind of operating within that system for the last year or so. It's been great.
So now, what is next for the BetterWallet brand?
Yeah, so with me being down here in Atlanta, so the move was very strategic for me. Not only did I want to be near my dad's side of the family, who all live in Alabama, I also knew that I had to get out of the bubble of Philadelphia, where I felt like there weren't that many creators. Like there are some up there that I can connect with, but it's nothing like Atlanta, where I feel like
nowhere is like Atlanta.
Yeah,
Anywhere else.
like you cannot like. There's literally nothing like it. So I said, hey, like I need to be where my peers are. So if this were to pop up, like hey, like we're in Atlanta, we're recording a podcast, come through. Everything's 20 minutes away. So I just was able to slide through. There's conferences that I can go to that I didn't have access to in Philadelphia. So overall, it's how can I have a bigger impact beyond what I was doing before? How can I continue to help out more and more people? How can I continue to scale? Last year, I hired my first person, so I have a VA now, which is crazy. And Shannon's dope, and she does everything that I can't do, so I can focus more on like how can I reach more people. So that's really my goal. Is like the word of the year is impact. Like how can I have a bigger impact for people? How can I be even better at my craft? How can I learn from you guys or other people that might know more about a certain topic? That way I'm, even more crisp than what I am now as it relates to helping people manage their money and investing for their family.
No,
that's really the big goal.
That's impact. The word of the year. That's Janoka's thing.
It is my thing. And last year we didn't have a word of the year. We felt a little lost with that. And then this year we haven't thought of one yet. But I do like word of the year. I think it gives you something to strive towards or work towards, like just a main theme.
Your mission for the year.
Yeah, it's just like a mission, just something to follow.
Yeah. And it really comes down to like just trying to quantify it too. Because like last year, I did think about the impact of even my course, and I'm like, okay, like I get it, like sales are great, but like how am I helping? Like what was the byproduct of all of that? And I went back to my students and said, hey, like I'm going to change this around. How much did you invest over the course of the last year with the course? And it came up to $250,000 people invested into index funds last year just through my course. And I'm like, okay, that's the number that I need to like boost up. Yeah. Because if we can get to 5 million and that's money that, would have went somewhere else to something consumer related and it's actually going into investing, like I'm doing a good job. Yeah. So that's been my big focus. How can I get people to invest even more into index funds? And truly, how am I helping them really, take control of their money? So that's the goal for this year, and I'm still trying to figure out the how you go about doing that. So asking a lot of questions, trying to learn from people that have already been in my shoes or currently in my shoes, joining different masterminds and things like that. I want to continue to learn and be a student of the game, because we're in a weird position now where it's like, people look at us and we're like, oh, like you guys are doing a really good job. You're successful. But you have to be humble enough still in this position where you can go and learn from someone else as well and be vulnerable. And I think last year I sat back and I was like, okay, like I know what I'm doing. But then I realized that I could be doing even more if I started learning from people that have already been where I'm at now.
Right. I mean, I feel like at any level you can continue to learn, and there's different dynamics to the business, right? Yeah. So you would probably know more than anybody the investing in that side of it. But when you're like on the internet, there's this digital side of it. There's this content side of it. There's this system side. There's so much more than just like teaching people, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know how to teach you to run a cleaning business, but now I got to show up in a different way. Now I have to make sure these things are in place so you get the email, so that you get the, so it's so much more than just the knowledge that you have.
Right. Yeah.
Working with other people.
I've been very focused on marketing. I think I DM'd you guys.
Yeah.
A few different like, give me the marketing plug. Like, I need to understand. Like,
we need to know. Yeah, because it's bigger than just the knowledge you have.
Yeah, and like just try to figure out the right people to put in place. But yeah, I mean, hiring someone last year was like a big thing for me, because for me, I'm like, BetterWallet is my baby, like, and I need to make sure I'm hiring top talent and paying them really well to make sure they're doing the right thing and make sure I can retain them. So to be able to do that last year, now I'm like, okay, well, what work can I delegate to someone that can do it better than me? So that's going to be a big focus of mine this year as well, just to broaden the impact as much as I can.